Number 10. Song Dynasty Shipwreck. From the depths of the South China Sea, an ancient cargo ship dating back to the Song Dynasty between the years 960 and 1279 AD has been salvaged. At the time of its creation, it was an impressive ship, still holding a cargo of amazing artifacts with reminders to its past upon its discovery. Ancient pieces of treasure made from gold, silver, and copper were found with the wreckage. In fact, there were so many treasures that a museum was built just to hold what was found in the wreckage. According to Chinese archaeologists, this is the earliest, biggest, and best preserved merchant ship discovered in the China Sea, and the only one of its kind that has been trading goods along the maritime Silk Road from old China to the rest of the known world. Some of the artifacts include porcelain products like bowls and pots. In total, there were also 17,000 copper coins uncovered. There were personal belongings too, like bracelets and rings. This would suggest the ship was filled with merchants and possibly passengers too. The ship itself was 72 feet or 22 meters long and sank because of unknown reasons. The discovery remains a crucial help in studying old world trading and way of life. Number 9. Icelandia. A secret sunken continent may have just been discovered hiding beneath the small island nation of Iceland. And no, it doesn't contain the lost city of Atlantis, sadly, though that would be incredible. The international team of geologists who discovered the mysterious continent have given it the name Icelandia. Extremely original, we know. Researchers are saying the underwater landmass likely stretches from Greenland to Europe, meaning that if it weren't under the sea, it would create a land bridge stretching all the way from France to Greenland, making it almost possible to travel from North America to Europe by land. The continent has a surface area of roughly 230 square miles, or around 600,000 square kilometers. Here's where the discovery gets even more amazing. If scientists can prove beyond a doubt that the landmass exists, even if it's deep below the surface of the ocean, it will prove the ancient existence of the supercontinent Pangaea, and that it never completely broke apart 50 million years ago. Pieces of it only sank. Number 8. New species of shark. A new species of ancient shark has been discovered, and it is as terrifying as it sounds. An international team of researchers led by the scientist Sebastian Stumpf from the University of Vienna was the first to uncover the fossil of the prehistoric beast, which is its very own new genus and species. The fossil itself was discovered in the Kimmeridge Clay Formation in England, a small collection of sedimentary rocks that formed underwater during the Upper Jurassic period almost 150 million years ago. The shark species has been named Hybodontiform. This breed of ancient animal goes back about 361 million years and is believed to be very closely related to modern sharks. However, they went extinct alongside the dinosaurs 66 million years ago. This shark had huge teeth that it used to rip apart prey, though it wasn't actually that big, only about 10 feet or 3 meters in length. Big enough to scare us, though. Scientists are still trying to figure out the reasons behind why a shark species like this one were wiped off the planet after the asteroid impact, while our own modern sharks survived and are still thriving today. The realization might just be able to help in conservation efforts today. Number 7. Plutonium from space. A very interesting radioactive element from outer space has just been found embedded in the crust of the Earth, located deep beneath the sea. The element is plutonium, which you might recognize from just about every spy movie where the villain is trying to get a hold of it to destroy the planet through nuclear weapons. Specifically, researchers found the plutonium-244 isotope, which they believe arrived on Earth along with another rare metal called iron-60. Both elements may form during supernovas out in space. They say the immense heat from the explosion of a supernova, a star blowing itself apart at the very end of its life cycle, causes the elements to speed across the universe and eventually land on our planet. Understanding how elements like these are formed is one of the biggest remaining questions right now in the world of physics. According to physicists working with the Australian National University, half of all elements heavier than iron come from the hearts of stars through the process of fusion. But there is another collection of elements that are born from within an even more explosive environment, such as a supernova, the collision of two neutron stars, or a neutron star falling into a black hole. Space is confusing and overwhelming, I know. The bottom line here is that plutonium-244 was discovered stuck in the Earth's crust at the bottom of the sea, and it has been there for at least 80 million years, slung across the vastness of space after a star larger than the entirety of a planet exploded. And if that doesn't sound crazy, we don't know what does. If given the chance, would you ever travel to space? Let us know in the comments below, and if you're liking the video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe buttons if you haven't already. Number 6. Bloated whale. Off the coast of Australia, a fisherman discovered what he thought was some kind of floating alien ship bobbing along the ocean waves. The object appeared smooth, a whitish-pink color, and it looked like some kind of inflatable extraterrestrial vessel that crash-landed out at sea. It wasn't until the Australian fisherman got close to it that he realized he was dealing with something organic. The stench of rotting putridity assaulted his nostrils and made him gag. It wasn't a hot air balloon or an alien vessel that he found, but it was definitely something dead and bloated. According to the unlucky fisherman, Mark Watkins, he had accidentally uncovered a dead whale. Not quite sure what he had expected. He realized it was a whale due in part to its smell. But how can a dead whale look so frightening? The gross phenomenon happens when a whale dies. Its stomach fills up with gas and causes the whale's corpse to bloat, actually similar to what happens to our own bodies after death. This creates a floating hot air balloon of rotting flesh. Humans don't exactly start floating up into the air after death, but it is entirely possible to float up once in water. Mark Watkins said there were sharks circling the ballooned whale's body, and so it was a bit of a surprise that it was even still floating and not torn to shreds for the shark's lunch. Mark didn't wait to see what the sharks would do, since he didn't really feel like having a whale's inflated stomach bursting guts all over his boat. He took some pictures, sailed away, and nobody ever saw the horrifying thing again. Number 5. A giant crustacean. A new species of crustacean was recently found very deep in the ocean inside the Atacama Trench off the coast of Peru and Chile. The new crustacean is a type of amphipod endemic to the trench, meaning it doesn't live anywhere else in the world. What's really crazy is that the amphipod is roughly twice the size of its nearest relative, making it a very real monster, in size at least. The creature was discovered roughly 16,000 feet or 4,900 meters below the ocean's surface, in the deepest part of the trench known as Richards Deep. Researchers also found creepy isopods with spider legs, pale snailfish, and other bizarre scavengers. The amphipods are plentiful down in this region, and they actually play a pretty critical role in their local ecosystem by eating whatever food sinks down to the bottom of the trench. To give you an idea of just how deep in the ocean these little crustacean creatures live, the Atacama Trench measures roughly as deep as the Andes Mountains are tall. No wonder it took so long for scientists to discover the species. It took years to even make equipment that was able to withstand pressures associated with ocean depths this far down. Number 4. Mysterious body of kidnapped victim. Something so tragic that it's hard to even talk about was discovered 3,000 feet or about 900 meters beneath the surface of the sea off the coast of Spain, near the port of Guimar. A sports bag was found by Spanish rescuers tied to an anchor resting on the seabed. Inside the sports bag was the body of 6-year-old Olivia Guimeno, a young girl who had been kidnapped by her own father. She had last been seen over a month before her body's discovery. Local authorities carried out an autopsy to confirm the girl's identity, and the family had been informed. But unfortunately, the girl had been taken along with her younger sister, who was not discovered. What was found was a second sports bag, only this one was empty. Authorities believe the sister was also tied to the anchor, but somehow slipped out of the bag and will probably never be found, since she's likely to have become fish food by now. As for how the young girls ended up deep in the sea, they were kidnapped by their father, who took them without consent and left the country on a boat. The boat was later found empty, but the murderous husband is still missing and at large. We send our condolences to the family of the victims and hope justice can one day be served. Number 3. Alien HQ. Shocking footage has revealed what could be an underwater alien headquarters about 2,000 feet or 600 meters below the surface. Yes, we understand how crazy that sounds. The potential alien base was found thanks to Google Earth. Internet sleuths found the satellite image of an aircraft that appears to have been flying very close to the surface, too close for comfort. It was somewhere between the west coast of the United States and the Santa Catalina Island. Below the craft is what conspiracy theorists say looks like an artificial structure partially hidden due to the blackness of the ocean. The area also happens to be a hotspot for UFO sightings and even alleged alien abductions. And if what the conspiracy theorists say is to be believed, some of these abductees have reported being taken to an underground base. Well, that underground base may actually be an underwater base, and the plane caught flying over it may have been doing reconnaissance or possibly bringing more abductees to the secret lair. No official organization has come out to deny the claims, since they do seem more than a little far-fetched. The base has also been debunked by other internet sleuths who claim the underwater structure isn't a base at all, but simply an oddly formed piece of rock. The truth is that nobody can really be sure what's down there, whether it's natural or of another world. It is fun to guess what could possibly be lurking beneath the depths, though. Number 2. Lair of the worms. Scientists have discovered the lair of a marine worm species on the floor of the ocean. The worms have long since died and have been turned into fossils. But 20 million years ago, when they thrived, they were pretty frightening little critters. These ancient giant worms lived in underground dens drilled into the ocean floor, where they waited for unsuspecting fish to swim by so that they could strike just like snakes and pull them down into their burrows. According to the Smithsonian, researchers believe the fossilized worms could be the earliest fossils ever found of an ambush predator. The lair of the worm was discovered on the sea floor off the coast of Taiwan. The lair itself is about 7 feet long and 1 inch, or about 2.1 centimeters wide. Just imagine an earthworm with a whole lot of teeth living in a den in your garden 7 feet or 2 meters long. It's kind of terrifying. These worms could probably grow anywhere from a few inches long to over 10 feet or 3 meters. They also had sharp teeth to rip apart prey, and a single antenna that they used to detect motion in the water. It's strange to think that worms were once fearsome predators, but that just goes to show you how mysterious the ocean, especially the ocean of the past, is. Number 1. Eternal green sea turtle. Scientists have discovered what they're calling a group of eternal green sea turtles living in the East Pacific waters off the coast of La Jolla in San Diego. Fascinatingly, the turtles were witnessed socializing with snorkelers and divers, something never really seen before with sea turtles. The behavior has left scientists more than a little confused. There are 4 resident turtles here living in an unprotected part of the coastline, which scientists say is also unusual. It's also strange because the turtles are swimming in cold water, which they aren't really supposed to like. But even though the behavior seems to be a bit strange, scientists say it's a good thing. According to Megan Hanna, a marine biologist from San Diego, the eternal green sea turtles are the result of 30 years of conservation. The population of green sea turtles may have increased in the last few years, and what we're seeing now is turtles moving into new territory and adapting. Of course, the sea turtles don't actually live for eternity. You probably would have heard of them before if that was the case. But the fact that they're living in such an unusual place and seem to be thriving, along with the fact that they've become accustomed to humans and actually hang out with divers, well, this makes them very special. So scientists will keep an eye on the eternal sea turtles to see what they get up to next. Thanks for watching. What's your favorite oceanic discovery? Is there anything about the sea that fascinates or terrifies you? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to hit subscribe for more awesome videos. See you next time. Bye-bye.